Part B, number 1, considering the arithmetic sequence 14, 18, 22, and 26, I ask you to do a bunch of stuff. First of all, what we want to do is identify a bunch of terms. A1, that's going to be the first term, which is obviously 14. The fourth term is A4, and if you just start counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's going to be 26. Now those ones are easy because they're in the list, but now I ask for A5 and A6. And that's all going to come down to whatever the common difference is. So what we have to do is kind of pay attention to what do we add to get from one term to the next. So we can find that by subtracting 18 minus 14, that'd be 4. And check with the next set too. Between 18 and 22, do we add 4 to get from 18 to 22? And yes, we do. That means that the common difference is 4. So if I want to find out what the fifth term is, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep adding 4 to get from the third term to the fourth term. And to get from the fourth term to the fifth term, I'm going to add 4 again. So the fourth term was 26. And if I add 4, we get 30. If I add 4 again, then we're going to get 34 for our sixth term. Knowing the first term and what the common difference is enough to come up with an expression for the nth term. Because a sub n is the first term plus common difference times n minus 1. So in our case, our first term is 14. The common difference we said was 4. And we don't know what n is, so that's going to be n minus 1. Now we can simplify this just by first distributing the 4 throughout. So we'll have 14 plus 4n minus 4, which would be 4n plus 10. And that's a nice simplified expression for it. Now that we have that, now that we know that an is 4n minus 10, finding a sub 10 is fairly easy to do. All we have to do is take out that n and plug in 10 instead. So 4 times 10 plus 10, that's 50. For the next part of it, it asks to find the sum of the first 10 terms. So that would be S10. Again, we're dealing with an arithmetic series, so we're going to need the formula for that, which is n over 2 times first term plus last term, in this case, 10th term. So since there are 10 terms, n is 10. Our first term, we said, was 14. And the last term was the 10th term, that 50. So now it's just a matter of using the calculator. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 14 plus 50 is 64. And when we multiply those two together, that's how we get the 320. Finally, in part E, it says to find the sum from n equals 1 to 10 of 4n plus 10. Now, our process for doing this is always going to be first step, write out the series. So that means taking 1 and plugging it in for n first. And 4 times 1, right here, plus 10 is going to be 14. The next term is going to be 4 times 2. So now we're going to go up from this 1 up to 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. And we'll go up to 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 10 is 22. And we're going to keep that going all the way up until we get to 10. So we plug in 10. 4 times 10 plus 10, we said was 50. And what we have is exactly the same thing that we just did. So that means that this sum is also going to be 320.